All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have you guys all here once again for another live stream. We took a little bit of break during the weekend. Well, yesterday on Sunday. I think Saturday we did a live stream. There was a whole heap of news that dropped on Saturday, the Athletic article that dropped. But yeah, it was a good time to take a bit of break yesterday. Enjoy the time with the loved ones, with the family. Hope you guys had a really good weekend as well. And we start the grind again. Start of a new week, start of a new month. Lots to talk about. But firstly, where is Pochettino? Where is our man Mauricio Pochettino, ladies and gentlemen? Where is he? Apparently more talks. What are we talking about? If you guys remember Tevin Campbell, one of my classic songs I love from the past. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. I mean, what are we talking about, ladies and gentlemen? All these talks, I thought it was done. I thought we were into the final stage. Apparently now more talks and there's more final stages to happen. Look, if we fumble this, I'll tell you right now, all the confidence, like me personally, these owners have, as I've been saying for so many times over the past few weeks, past few months, every single video, some of you guys are not really enjoying it. Some are with me. For me, the owners, they've got to learn a lot. They've got to improve a lot. Yes, their heart's in the right place. No doubts about that. But for me, they've got to improve a lot. So if they fumble this, I will have literally nothing else to say. And I think most of you guys will have to start agreeing that, is this ownership the right thing for us? Is this ownership the right thing? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just don't get. Maybe there is something, deeper that's happening. Obviously, as you can see, the title over here, Poch asked Boehly to stop visiting Chelsea dressing room. I wasn't actually aware of this. Eunice yesterday WhatsApped me showing that because we were talking in the WhatsApp group, myself, Eunice, and Matisse and Drog Baba. And I was saying, what's going on? Like, where's the Poch news? And Eunice then provided me this particular link, which I was unaware of. There's articles. Julien Laurens is the one who's been saying, apparently, Pochettino has asked, this is one of the, demands that he's made, that he doesn't want the owners to come into the dressing room. And I thought, wow, is this for real? Because this is what we were talking about in recent times, that no way the new manager will appreciate this. They will have to take a stance. And now we're starting to hear that this has been the case. Now, is this one of the things that's stopping the situation? Is this one of the things that the owners, the board, are they all, able to come into a unified decision? And this is the other thing, man. Like, there's too many people to please. Imagine when you have all of these people and everyone has to decide on the one decision. It's very difficult. Boehly, Iqbali, Lawrence Stewart, Vivell, Paul Winstanley, all of these people. Now there's some talks about Paul Mitchell. Whether that's correct or not, I don't know. Ben Jacobs is saying that's not correct. And lately, I don't know about Ben Jacobs, man. I think still a decent journalist, but, he kind of shot himself not that long ago, stating that Graham Potter's not going to get sacked. Literally a couple of hours later, Ben Jacobs in the mud. There's other journalists that are saying that, Paul Mitchell. So we want to add more people in these board of directors and part of this leadership group, whatever you want to call it. It's difficult to get the buy-in of everyone. We should have this is the thing. We should have a structure as to how to come to a decision. I'm certain there'll be a lot of people in the board and obviously in the ownership group between Todd Boehly and Baghdad Iqbali I'm sure they probably all have different feelings. Maybe majority like Poch, but there may be one or two that might like some other people instead. So look, I don't know, man. I don't know. Big up to each and every one of you guys. Nearly 200 people live already. Smash the like button as soon as you come through, please. First of all, take the moment right now before we delve into all the stories and all the tweets and also Frank Lampard's press conference. We'll try and react to that. Take the moment right now to smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Let me take a couple of your comments before we start things off. The Undertaker CFC, good to see. It was said days ago that Poch asked for the owners not to come into the dressing room. Where have you been? Honestly, I don't know, man. I didn't see it because generally I pick up the news from PYS, Simon Phillips, or Chelsea Dodgers. None of those guys reported this, so I'm not really sure. And if they don't report it, honestly, I don't see it. So, yeah, I do apologize. I didn't pick up on that. Jerry Z, thank you for this comment. Miss, I told you that Poch is not a yes man. He did to an extent with Levi, but his ambitions are higher with Chelsea. He wants to win the league. Now, you know what? I like this. And I'm starting to think you guys are right. You guys are right. Maybe he's not all about yes man, because at the end of the day, Poch needs to make sure that this particular appointment works out for him. It's not just about the money. I'm pretty sure he got a hefty amount of money from PSG, so I don't think it's about the money. If Poch as well, just as much as us, Chelsea, if we screw this up, then we are done. Like, I'm scared for Chelsea Football Club. But just as much for Poch as well, if he screws this up, I don't know how many big-time clubs that he's going to be able to land straight after this. He may have to start again. So perhaps both the parties right now, the stalling at the moment is probably due to both parties trying to jot down the points. Poch probably has his demands. He wants X, Y, Z things. And the ownership and the board are probably, looking at that demand and saying, what can they do? What can they not do? And maybe they also have some demands as well. So maybe this is the hold-up at the moment. We'll see. Top Dog RLG, thank you so much for the super chat. Any manager worth getting will have numerous demands, and not wanting his work undermined by Boehly in the dressing room is very reasonable. Top comment. And I think this could possibly be the reason why there's a bit of a hold-up. Now, so this is the particular news which I wasn't aware of a few days ago. I just wanted to touch base with you guys and see how you guys are feeling about it. Expert reveals Mauricio Pochettino's important dressing room requesting from Chelsea owner Todd Boehly. So this is, I got this from the One app, One Football website. And it goes something like this. Julien Laurens reveals Mauricio Pochettino made dressing room demand from Todd Boehly. Todd Boehly. Yeah, that's about ourselves, right? Todd Boehly. Yeah, that makes sense. According to Julien Laurens, Mauricio Pochettino told Todd Boehly that if he's to become Chelsea manager, then he doesn't want Boehly to enter the team's dressing room. Some of you guys, I remember when I when I posted on the community page when Todd Boehly entered the dressing room and was, asking about the players' price and telling them that how come you're not performing based on your price and your reputation. Some of you guys said, the owner has every right to do all of this stuff. And I said, it's not about the right. Yeah, of course, the owner has the right to do anything, but you got to understand what are some of the rules and traditions of a dressing room. And some of you guys were against what I was saying. And look, right here, Pochettino, coming from Julien Laurens. Like, Julien Laurens is a top journalist out there. So I'd take his talk quite seriously. And I'm not surprised. This is not too far-fetched. Maybe Pochettino is asking for this, and I hope he is actually asking for this. It makes me feel more confident about Pochettino that some of you guys have been saying he's not a yes man. These are the kind of examples that sort of give me the faith that, yes, he's not going to be a pushover. I want Pochettino to own that dressing room. I really do. If you're going to gain respect, if you're going to command some sort of respect from the playing group, you need to own that dressing room. I don't want Todd Boehly to come in act as if he's the main guy. He shouldn't be. The owners should not be coming into the dressing room, and only when, if there's success or any other particular reason, not on a regular basis. If you want to really talk to people, then talk to them in the training ground. But yeah, apparently Mauricio Pochettino has asked Todd Boehly, don't enter the dressing room. After discussions reached their conclusion, the former Paris Saint-Germain manager is now strong contender to lead Chelsea starting in the 2023-2024 campaign. Last week, Julian Nagelsmann withdrew. Okay, so that's old news. The prior time Chelsea played, Boehly did, however, go to the locker room after the most recent loss to... Yep, okay, so we know all of this. And I think the rest of the stuff is all things that we've already addressed. I'm told that they addressed that in the many interviews that Pochettino had with Boehly and the sporting directors. That was addressed, and rightly so, I think. Boehly knows that Pochettino's personality doesn't allow any kind of interference from the ownership or anything like that. I like it. Absolutely like it. Let's see what you guys have to say about this. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, how do you feel about a manager putting the stance down to the owners that, hey, you cannot enter this? If you guys remember, I put up a particular video of Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger actually had a clause in his contract stating the owners cannot enter the dressing room. He had that in his clause. So maybe Pochettino is doing the same thing. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about this. Do you think this is perhaps one of the reasons why there is a holdup? Are you worried? Are you not worried? Let me know. I'm going to pick up some of your comments before we move on to the latest Fabrizio Romano tweet in regards to the matter. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. At least Poch knows the fans are going to be patient as the average ones. Unlike our owners, it seems he's aware with Spurs link and he's doing his best to be placed in the best scenario to succeed. Nah, true talk, true talk. Rue, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Miz, love the content. Keep it going. Much appreciated, brother. I really, really appreciate that. Okay. If Poch demands aren't unreasonable, then I don't see why the owners should reject him. I mean, what is the holdup? It just makes me wonder. You know this guy, you've been talking to this guy for a little while now. You know what he brings to the plate. He's good with the player development. He'll have a good brand of football. He'll bring stability, hopefully crack us into top form. Maybe not next season, but from the season after that. What seems to be the holdup now? And it makes me think the owners, they probably have some demands as well. And I feel like, when will these owners finally just allow the footballing minds that they've hired to run the show? You don't need to interfere so much. I mean, is this just the American way to do things? Are they just concerned the level of money that they've invested on the football club? They want to ensure that they're in every single bits and pieces of decisions that is taking place. I mean, eventually they're going to have to make the decision anyway. Why do you need to get to the more nitty-gritty stuff of things? Just wait till the recommendation comes to you, then make a decision. Why do you need to get into the bottom level and be part of every discussion? Do you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know. Chelsea boy is saying one thing you can expect from Poch is if he doesn't see commitment from a player, he's getting a look in and he's getting chopped. Remember when Lamela used to ride the subs bench at Tottenham? Yeah, no, it's good. I want Poch to be a strong manager. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat. James Corden is upset he can't go in now. This James Corden, man, we are such a laughing stock, huh? Matt saying, thank God Lampard has been awful because they would have given him the job. Do you know what? Had Lampard gone on instead of the 5-match losing streak, had he got maybe a 50% win rate, he probably might have got the job. If Poch backs out, I'm blaming Todd for sure. Look, if this collapses, I think we'll all have to blame the owners because I think Poch wants the job. But at the same time, I'm starting to get the feeling Poch wants it in his own terms, and rightly so. Poch should have a backbone. He should have a character. He shouldn't just bend over backwards and just be a yes man to the owners. If Poch doesn't want the owners to interfere and stay away from all footballing activities, just you be the owner. Just be the owner. Don't interfere in footballing matters when you don't have the experience. Poch should hold firm. And if that's one of the matters that's holding this contract talks, if the owners are saying, no, we want to be involved. Who are you to tell us not to be involved? We want to be involved in every decision. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Yes, I'm so worried if the deal falls and we get company or the Celtic man, I am not to live another day. Look, I don't even know if people like company or the Ange Postecoglou, the guy from Celtic, my guy, the Australian brother, the Australian guy, Australian Pep Guardiola. I don't think they'll even be considering it. Like all these managers, they do want to have some of the like. In order to build a team, you have to have your imprint on it. What's the point if you're there as a face, but everything is run by the board and the owner? What's the point of that? Do you know what I mean? Even the Cronkies and them lot don't interfere with footballing things. You only see them when something major is happening. But Boehly and co are excited like they got a new shiny toy they don't want to let go. Yeah, I mean, they need to chill, man. They just need to chill. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. Hello, Miz. I went to Stamford Bridge on Saturday. I went to the mega store and it was empty. I was the only one there. Just shows how the fans are feeling. Wow. I remember the last time I went to Stamford Bridge, 2015, Jose Mourinho season when he got sacked. I remember Megastore was pumping. Even during those times when it wasn't that great, we finished, 10th with good sitting that came in. The Megastore was always buzzing. Now the Megastore is not buzzing. Pretty sad state. President Jafar, yes, it's against norms in European football, but it's normal for owners to be involved in dressing room in USA. There you go. These are the things. I don't know if you guys noticed. Yesterday, the Chelsea Twitter account also started saying top trades. When did our Twitter account also become American? Like, it seems like there's a particular American person running it at the moment. Top trades. When did we start saying top trades? I'm pretty certain we always say top transfers. Now it's top trades. Things are changing. Things are changing indeed. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Shubra, my boy. Kronkes don't interfere because they don't even care. Arsenal fans will tell you it's not a good thing. Look, me personally, I think our owners, they care because you see the level of investments they're making, right? They truly care. But I want them to care, but get away from being involved so much. You don't need to be in the dressing room. You don't need to, what was the other thing? Mudryk was purchased and Mudryk was brought into the dressing room when Thomas Tuchel was saying, come on, man, like, not Thomas Tuchel, was some of the players, or was it Thomas? No, it wasn't Thomas. By then, Thomas Tuchel was already sacked. But apparently the players were a bit shocked that, just before a match against Crystal Palace, Mudryk is getting paraded around, or his associate was getting paraded around in the dressing room. There's certain things you just don't do. That's what I'm trying to say. Certain things you just don't do. Happy for you to be ambitious, happy for you to be very excited and have the intentions, which is great, and you're willing to spend, but just in terms of being involved in the footballing matters, the decision makings, you don't have the experience to do so. Just let the people that have the experience and the smartness to do this job to carry out that particular process, or else here we are, we're going to be in the mud. You know what I mean? All right, this is the latest from Fabrizio Romano, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea are prepared to continue talks with Mauricio Pochettino this week in order to complete the agreement on final crucial points. Final crucial points. Wonder what these crucial points are. Probably the length of the contract, probably the remuneration, probably some fine clauses, like, you can't enter the dressing room, this, that, the other. Maybe Poch wants some power in transfer market. Maybe Poch wants some say in regards to, if certain players have been bought previously by the owners that doesn't fit his philosophy and style down the track, that perhaps let go of them. I don't know. There could be many things. After key internal discussions in LA this weekend, Chelsea are entering into the final stages of the process to hire the new coach. Look, I hope it happens, man. I truly, truly hope it happens. President Jafar, thank you so much for the super chat. Allegedly, Roman wants Chelsea back after Ukraine is settled. Wow. Imagine if Roman had a clause as well that he can take back Chelsea from these owners in the future with a certain future value, let's just say. I think Roman sold it for what, 4 billion or something like that. Maybe he can buy it back from them for 5 billion or 6 billion or something like that. And Roman definitely has the power to do that. Imagine if he ever had a clause like that. That would be so beautiful. That would honestly be so beautiful. Fabrizio is just recycling old news yet again. No, it's true. But do you know what, Mo? It's starting to worry me a little bit. He's just recycling the old news. Makes me think there's nothing truly new that's materializing. And the longer it goes on, it makes me think, is this about to collapse? Like, you should know by now. Like, you've been talking to Pochettino, you should know if he's the guy or not. And if he's the guy, let's get to the bottom of it. Okay, what do you want? These are some of the things we can do for you. These aren't some of the things we can do. Okay, let's compromise. How many talks do we need to have? Surely they can sit down and smash it all out. This is what, like the third, fourth interview with Pochettino conversations? Is it meant to take this long? I don't know, man. To be fair, Ms. Marcelo Gallardo isn't a bad shout as a project manager if owners are serious about a culture change from the academy to the first team, one of the top managers in South America. I think one of his issues, correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea boy, is language going to be an issue? English, is that going to be a bit of an issue? You want your manager to be able to convey the message. Like, look at, for example, Thiago Silva. I mean, he's a colossus figure at Chelsea Football Club, but sometimes he finds it hard as well to elaborate his message to the playing group. Language barriers are, it's a bit of a restriction. Phenomenal Finn for the last 2 weeks. That's what we've heard. Last crucial details, fine details, buzzwords, preparing us for a collapse. Preparing us for a collapse. Balan is saying, no, it won't collapse. Means majority of the fan base don't like him. It means we'll get him. Yeah, true talk. Vincent Company is coming. Some people are, not so confident at the moment, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm still thinking, how can you fumble this, man? You seriously cannot fumble this. Do you think, hypothetically, he gets call from Spurs tomorrow or day after? Will he back out from this job? I don't know, man. I think he's done the Spurs thing. I truly don't think Poch will want to go back for 2.0. I truly believe he would like this Chelsea job. It's a lucrative job. But I think now this Chelsea job it comes with some constraints. Gone are those days, the Chelsea job, you're a top manager, you're a top gaffer, you know your way around, you've been a winner, you've won stuff. Okay, the job's yours. Now it's more like, I hear you, you've won a lot of stuff. Well, whoop-de-doo. Like, look at, for example, Thomas Tuchel, sacked. It don't matter. Graham Potter hasn't won anything, and he was the manager. Frank Lampard comes in as interim manager. He's not won anything either. So now it seems like it comes with some constraints. You don't need to be a winner. You don't need to be a winner. There are certain things that these owners seems like they're looking for, and it may not necessarily always fit with the candidates. Milo, what is the change? Chelsea culture. The culture here is to win, nothing else. Everything comes second. Hey, look, man, I'm not really sure whether we are set up to win anything next season. I'll tell you right now. Because it seems like a high-end data science job interview process. Now, it's mad. It truly is mad. Especially when you've had that many interviews. What more do you need to go through? Another thing of note is Poch is doing the negotiations by himself because he's not using any agency, so they are using lawyers. Yeah, is that something that's perhaps prolonging the situation? Maybe. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Frank Lampard's press conference. Look, do you know what? I feel for Frank, man. I really do. I honestly do feel for him. He speaks well. When you listen to him in the press conference, he speaks well. He means well, man. But I still feel like I wish he didn't take this job. I know he probably took it because there are a lot of incentives. He probably wanted to set himself up for the next job, no problems. That is one of the incentives. But I also do believe he wanted to help Chelsea Football Club out in these hard times. I know a lot of people out there are saying, nah, man, he just did it all for himself, this, that, the other. I don't truly believe that, man. I mean, Frank Lampard, he bleeds blue. And he would have seen the mess that we were in and he wanted to rectify that. But at the same time, I'm sure you have to have some personal sort of gains from this particular job, which is going south for him anyway. I don't like it when Frank in the press conference, whenever, and have you guys noticed, the journalists as well, they never ask any hard questions to Frank Lampard. Never, ever. They don't say, hey, a couple of your last lineups have been a bit dubious, have been a bit questionable. What's going on? How come you're not playing João Felix? How come you're not playing, some of your more attacking players? They all ask all these easy questions, easy go merry questions, man. Like, they don't want to rattle the boat with Frank Lampard, and that's so annoying. No one asks him about, hey, Frank, 5 losses in a row. Like, your reputation's under the Poch. Like, what do you have to say about that? No difficult questions. The thing I want to say about Frank is, as soon as the journalists, they talk about, but have a look at Arsenal. They went through a hard time and they've had to go through that. Do you think Chelsea are expected to do something like that? And straight away, Frank's like, yeah, we forget the difficult moments that Arsenal and Mikel Arteta had to go through. We need to go through that as well. And I feel like saying, Frank, sure. I'm not expecting a miracle next season. We have to go through some sufferings. And like, as if we haven't gone through sufferings. Yeah, since Thomas Tuchel won the Champions League, it's been a suffering anyway. This season has been a suffering. Last season was a bit of a suffering, even though we did come top 4, became 3rd. Yeah, nonetheless, it was a bit of suffering. This season, 100% suffering. Next season, I'm ready to be suffering, to be suffered. But I hate when Frank talks about it. Yeah, it's going to take a bit of time, this, that, the other. And I straight away think, Frank, when you got sacked, Thomas Tuchel literally came in and turned things around. Look at Aston Villa. They were 16th. They were 16th when Steven Gerrard got sacked. Unai Emery comes in, turned things around. And there's been many cases like that. Roberto De Zerbi in Brighton. Graham Potter gets sacked. De Zerbi takes Brighton to a different level. Okay, albeit Brighton was not in a tumultuous situation like Aston Villa or even, Chelsea, but still, a good manager, an elite level manager, can come in and change things around. Not like drastically to win stuff, but you can change things around to perhaps make it into top 4. But now, I don't even expect top 4 next season. Like, we are getting brainwashed. We are getting systemized to believe, it will take 2 years, 3 years, maybe even 4 years. You look at Jurgen Klopp with Liverpool. Look at the tumultuous season they've had. And now, the past few games, they've started to put some wins together. Top managers always will put wins together. Antonio Conte, before he got sacked, Spurs were 4th. And that's after having an abysmal season. Antonio Conte was still 4th. Top managers still know how to keep a standard. Now we're sort of getting brainwashed to believe, it's going to take us 2 years. It's going to take us 3 years. And now I'm agreeing as well. I've been brainwashed. I don't expect any trophies next season. I know some of you guys do. I don't expect any trophies next season. I'll tell you straight up. My expectation next season is 6th. And that's me being realistic, because we're potentially going to finish around 14th, 15th. I don't expect to come top 4 after being 14th, 15th. It's not going to be that easy. We have to get rid of a lot of players. And our preseason has to be nailed on. Have a look at the schedule. In the United States, quite a bit of travel, quite a lot of matches. Don't forget a whole heap of players that are coming back as well from loans, from the academy, this, that, the other. So, yeah, I've been now conditioned as well that now we're not going to win anymore. Top Dog, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Considering Potter's win rate was 31% and Lampard's is 0, What is the realistic expectation for Poch, who had 54% win rate at Spurs? Look, I expect around that 50% as well. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know. Does that bring us sixth? Whatever helps us to be sixth minimum. Whatever helps us to be sixth. I don't know who we're going to... I know next season, the top four race, once again, will be open. You know, people think, Arsenal are set in stone. No, I think Arsenal will be back into the top four race next season. I think Man United still has quite a lot of development still to do. Newcastle will still have to develop and has to contend with Champions League football. One team possibly that could be out permanently from top four is probably Spurs. If Harry Kane leaves, that could be trouble for them. Yeah, like whatever helps us to be in that mix, to be sixth, fifth, give me that percentage. Give me that percentage. But definitely I expect more than 31%, man. I expect high 40s, close to 50. Yeah, close to 45 to 50%, man. I expect that. Let's see what happens. Let's see what you guys are saying. Please don't forget we need to sell about 8 to 10 players for FFP. 100%, man. It ain't going to be easy. What do you think about? Think of the rumors of a swap deal with Bayern with Kovacic and Leroy Sané. Sané is proven Premier League winner. Yeah, look, there's been talks about Sadio Mane as well. Some journalists are saying yes, like CFC Bayern, Christian Folks, Fabrizio Romano saying now there's no talks. I don't mind Sadio Mane either. Experienced head, potentially could play through the middle. We could have, Sterling on one side, Mudryk on the other side, or Noni Madueke on one side. Sadio Mane. I know a lot of you guys probably don't like Sadio Mane. He might be past it, this, that, the other. I still think he's a quality player. I still think he's an experienced head. Even last season, he was still very, very good along with Mo Salah. So I know this season it hasn't worked out at Bayern Munich, but like as I can see, Mish is saying Mane is finished. Do you know what I mean? Rainey's saying we don't need Mane. I mean, are you guys just talking about it based on this season, or you've seen something in the past 2-3 seasons that Mane is on the decline? I'm pretty certain Mane did well last season as well. I'm pretty certain. Let me have a look. I know this season it's not worked out. It's a new league, new environment. He definitely didn't get along Nagelsmann. There was apparently some issues, some rifts. But are we actually going to sit here and say Sadio Mane is done? He's finished? I don't know. Even this season, he scored 12 goals, by the way. Last season, in all competition, 23 goals. Premier League, 16 goals. 4 assists. 5 assists altogether last season. In all competition. In the Champions League, 5 goals, 1 assist. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, if he comes for a cheap, I wouldn't be too perturbed about it. Mane is a class. Liverpool miss him so much. Yomis, did you know that Roman Abramovich could buy Chelsea after sanctions lifted? Okay, so we've seen that. Yeah, someone put this comment up earlier. I didn't know. Is there an article on it? Let me know. It's okay. No need for him. Sterling, KK, nothing better. He's an old head, but he's a top player. We have too much on our plate. I mean, look, we are looking for a particular player to play up top, a striker. I don't know. Look, I don't think we're going to get Victor Osimhen. I personally don't think we're going to get Victor Osimhen. It's going to cost a lot of money. With financial fair play, I'm not sure how we're going to get this deal done. Romelu Lukaku, I don't want him back. He could potentially be the guy who comes back. Vitor Roque is my guy, and maybe that could happen. But once again, he's young. It's going to take a bit of time. Unless we go with some of the Premier League proven ones like Mitrovic or Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney seems like the gambling issue will have a bit of a say. I can't think of anyone else in the Premier League that comes into my mind. Maybe the Brighton player, Evan Ferguson. How much more do we want to deal with Brighton? Yeah, I think even Brighton are probably fed up with us. Let's see what else you guys are saying before we wrap things up. Now, Victor Osimhen isn't a good fit. No ball control, no link up. Yeah, on top of that, who's going to be feeding him all those chances as well? That's the other thing. So, there's a lot of question marks. Man. Not all the players will be playing in these preseason games. It gives the manager a chance to see who he wants to keep. Not all the players will be playing in these preseason games. It gives the manager a chance to see who he wants to keep. Okay, fair enough. We're going to slowly wrap things up. Smash the like button, guys, before we wrap things up. We'll take this final super chat. Another 18 more likes. If we can get to 18 likes to get to 100, that'd be fantastic. So let's do that. If you're here for the first time as well, make sure you subscribe. Top Dog RLG, once again, thank you so much for the super chat. Miz, if we are shopping in the bargain bin for a striker, then I would love Yusuf El Nassiri. Yeah. Do you know what? He's all right, but I don't know if he would succeed in the Premier League. I know he's a good player, man. But I think Sevilla is probably the level, man. For Morocco, we saw there are times where he's not clinical enough. But yeah, as you said, yeah, bargain bin, I suppose. Yeah, if it's the bargain bin. We need at least 2 reliable strikers next season. I don't know if we need 2. I'm happy to go with 1 and then give David Datra Fofana an opportunity. Do you know what I mean? Or Armando Broja to be a backup if that's how we go with, unless we send him out on a loan. T1, thank you so much for the super chat. TT pre-UCL win. Poch has way better resume. People learn and improve. Yeah, look, I'm all on board with Poch, man. I am all on board. Hey, I'm not the one who's holding up the negotiations at the moment. I don't know why it's stalling, but maybe it's stalling for some bits and pieces clauses that they're working on. I'm all on board with Pochettino. I've already accepted. I want this guy to come in and I want him to start really rectifying the situation at Chelsea Football Club. The news about him wanting Todd Boehly to be away from the dressing room gives me heart that he's not a yes guy. He's not going to be a pushover. So let's see, man. Let's see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button. Before you go, if you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I'll come with a video later on UK time after the match. I think there is a match, a Premier League match later tonight. After the match, we'll wrap things up with the latest Chelsea news. And then tomorrow live stream will be the preview. Arsenal versus Chelsea. It's going to be fun. It's going to be one fun preview. Until next time, see ya.